So, this week's reading by Paulina Dima explained how the emergence and evolution of food television in America came about. This new genre of media offered viewers like a whole different perspective that they haven't seen before, really. They depicted male chefs and they also used diverse food cultures and food recipes. And then they also definitely encouraged consumerism. And then they encouraged the art of cooking as a hobby for all. So yeah, the first key quote I want to discuss was found on page 117, and it reads, Emeril does not tell viewers exact measurements of all the ingredients he uses, add about 40 cloves of garlic, for instance, nor does he always give details of how long to bake or chill food, leave it in there for a long time. These details can be found in his cookbooks for sale in bookstores across the country or on the Food Network commercially underwritten website. So immediately after reading that, you can tell exactly how the Food Network encouraged consumerism and how they did try to persuade viewers without them understanding that they were being persuaded, but trying to persuade them to buy stuff for the kitchen, for cooking, buy the cookbook for the recipes, all of that. The Food Network was good at romanticizing cooking and showing how, if you know the right way, cooking can be fun and it can be entertaining and it can be efficient. So he encourages people, to buy his cookbook to cook the right way, basically. And I feel like that was a very good tactic to use in terms of encouraging, people to invest money into you. And then we can even see this in a real life example. A lot of influencers do this on TikTok. They will make a whole video of all the steps they took to make a specific recipe, and they will make it look very good at the end. And instead of listing out the recipe and all of the measurements that went into it, they just tell people to buy their cookbook that can be found in their bio. And I think this is valid. Artists deserve to be paid for their work. And so basically, if you're a chef, if you're really good at cooking and you have these really good recipes and you think that consumers should have to pay for it, that's completely understandable. But it's directly parallel to how the Food Network operated and encouraged people to buy stuff from their website. Just, contributing to their overall profits in general. But yeah, and then the second quote is from page 118, and then this quote reads, into the 21st century, our relationship with time continues to be one of commodity valuation. We speak of time-saving measures and of spending time wisely as if time were a currency to be saved or spent. So this idea in general, it can be applied to basically all facets of life. It was really compelling and really intriguing, and it really made me wait for a second and process and understand, what that meant and everything. It was deep. And this ideology of wanting to save time or not wanting to spend a lot of time on doing something that you don't necessarily want to do, paired with, Americans starting to view cooking as a chore, especially when factoring work days, how many hours people, spend at work on average. It's a lot. People spend, 8 hours at work, and it took them an hour to get ready and commute to work, and it takes them an hour to get back from work. That's 10 hours of your day. And if you're sleeping for 8 hours, not a lot of time left. So it's, when those two are at play, they're open a whole new sector for quick food. So get ready to eat foods and TV dinners. We still have the frozen trays of dinner now in supermarkets, and you just heat it up in the microwave. It made eating much more convenient. It made cooking much more convenient. So yeah, I just think that reflects a lot of different things though, in terms of time saving and spending time, just considering that we use time as a currency, makes me feel like I need to spend my time more wisely. That just made me think about time differently, honestly. So that was cool. But yeah. And then the question I had after reading all of this, basically it was now with the recent shift to streaming services and social media, how is the food TV landscape changing? And when I say this, like, are these short videos posted to social media, to TikToks and Instagram, are they going to be considered a part of food TV? Or do we need to like change the name of the category entirely? And now is it, maybe better considered food content so that it includes both TV and social media? I feel like, you know, there are some cooking TV shows coming out now on streaming services. Like we do see some, but I feel like more often than not, they are like competition cooking shows now. So, what does this mean for food television? Does this mean, the sector for instructional cooking videos? Like, is that oversaturated? And so food TV is moving on from that. Food TV is just moving towards competition shows. And then like, instructional videos are left for social media, or, like, is it combined? Is food TV on the rise, or is food TV on the decline because of social media food content? And just, yeah, like, what's the overall scope of this food television? Because I feel like in general, we have been seeing a little bit of a decline in television with streaming services and with social media. People are just paying attention to other things. So yeah, I'm just curious to see where it's going to go from here.